So let's get to the AFC West, the division of the guys here
is the best.
We will start. We'll start from the front. We'll end with the Raiders. So on our list here, we got the San Diego Superchargers. So we did that shit in harmony. Damn.
Yes.
Shit, look at us.
Look at us.
Casey and Fat.
Yes. Casey
So-
and Fat.
You could be Casey.
Thank you. I appreciate
So anyways, Chargers, I'm going to say, fuck, man. I'm going to go 8.5, man. And I don't want to go. So I'm going to say they win 8 games. What's their total?
I'm going to say 7 games.
It's over 8.5.
That's
wow.
Over's favorite.
Minus 155.
Yeah. So
wow.
So by the way, the first game of the season, they play the Raiders. They're at home against the Raiders. The line opened at 3. And everyone in Vegas, the other day I was listening to the Raiders station in Vegas, and the guys on there, they all bet the Chargers at 3. They were like, we're taking the Chargers at 3 at home. They think they win that game by 7-10. That's on the Raider station the other night I was listening when I was in Vegas.
There's just zero confidence in the Raider QB room. They got ranked the worst QB room.
Oh
in
yeah,
the
I
whole
saw
NFL,
that. Yeah.
which is 100% valid. Unfortunately,
I don't like that.
I don't like AP.
I like AP.
I don't
I
think
like
he's the
AP
guy
and
for
I
the
like
job.
Gardner Minshew.
That's right.
I like Minshew, but I
That's
don't think
racist.
AP's the job. My coach is black, and my quarterback.
Yeah, but it's Mike Tomlin. It's a different black.
Different.
It's a different black.
Not really.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a different. It's a
And
CJ
you have
Black. Mike
Russ as
Tomlin
your
is CJ
quarterback.
Black.
Yes.
Yeah, 1000%.
That's accurate.
Mike Tomlin is CJ Black, right? And Antonio Pierce is more, I don't know, Carmelo Anthony Black. You know what I'm saying?
It's more.
You know what I'm saying? You get it, CJ, right? CJ Blacker the motherfucker too, though. So he gets it. CJ, am I right or am I right? Yes or no? Say something. Jesus
So
Christ.
do you not see a split with those two teams?
Chargers Raiders?
Yeah.
The split the season series?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So
Yeah,
this
I think
one-
they split.
This one's in Vegas though. And
No, the game
This
one
one's
is
in LA.
in
Oh,
LA.
it's in LA.
Game one is in LA.
Yeah,
Raiders don't
game-
play home until week 3.
I think the Chargers
No,
win.
Home one will be a Raider game. Let's not get it twisted.
It
It's just
will
in
be-
LA.
It's just in LA. It will be
Yeah.
a Raider home game.
I hope to be at this game.
So
I actually like the Raiders plus 3 or 3.5. I'd prefer to take the points in that game. I think those games are all going to be tough.
Mhm.
I think they're going to be
take the
tight.
under. I'll tell you that shit.
Yeah, because well,
In this game, yes.
It's gonna look like a rugby
So,
contest.
I think they split 1-1. Let's give the Chargers the week 1
Okay.
win.
Let's go. Let's go.
Week 2 at Carolina.
I think they win that.
That's a yes.
Week 3 at Pittsburgh.
Laos.
Hang them up. You lost.
Week 4 home against Kansas City.
Lost.
Week
Home.
early week 5 bye.
I think they get scooped against the Chiefs.
yes. Week 5 early bye.
That's brutal.
Brutal as well.
Because now when you get to the back end, now you got to look like, okay, now there's games where you should have won that you're probably going
Yeah,
to
and
lose because
if
you've
you
been
have a
fucking playing
receiver
for.
go down, who's the backup?
Yeah, they got guys.
Who?
They got Ladd McConkey.
That's all they need.
That's all they need, baby.
All right.
He's raw.
Yeah, he's a Caitlin Clark of the NFL.
He's white. Look at that.
He's white.
Wow.
He's white.
What else we got?
Luke has never been more happy to not be on camera.
What else?
Week 6 at Denver after the bye.
That's a
I think
win.
they win that game.
That's a win.
Denver
Denver's going to
loses
be
every
god
game.
awful.
Fucking clowns.
God awful.
I think, by the way, the Chargers, I think they scooped the Broncos.
Goddamn right.
Yes.
The
I-
Broncos
I tell you-
suck balls.
So that
I
means they're
thank
going to
you.
lose 4
AFC West. They might.
AFC West games.
I mean,
The Broncos?
Yeah.
we'll get.
I
let's
think
keep
they
going.
go ahead. We'll
keep
I
going.
think they
We'll-
win
we'll
one
go
in the
to-
AFC
they're the
West.
next team anyway.
Them motherfuckers ain't winning one.
Week 7 at Arizona.
At Arizona, I think they lose that game, but I'm a fan. So
Week 8 home against the Saints.
win,
Week 9 at Cleveland.
loss,
Loss.
Easy loss.
not easy.
Easy loss.
Nothing's easy in the NFL, man.
Week 10 home against the Tennessee Titans.
Win
Week 11 home against Cincinnati.
at home.
Loss.
I'm gonna give them a loss.
Week 12 home against Baltimore.
Loss, absolute fucking loss. And John's gonna go easy on him. John's gonna go easy on him.
Yeah.
Might not cover.
Why not?
John's gonna be favored by 7 and win by 6. Like we'll take it easy.
Week 13 at Atlanta.
At Atlanta, I think they win that game. I'm gonna give them a win. I need to find 8 wins somewhere. So
Yeah.
that's going to be one of them.
Week 14 at Kansas City.
Oh, no. Dead in the water. Loss.
Week 15 home against Tampa.
Loss. At home against Tampa, I think they win that game.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they win that game.
Week 16 home against Denver.
Oh, win.
Win.
Week 17 at New England.
Win.
Win.
Week 18 at the Raiders.
They lose that.
So
what do
one,
we
two,
got?
Raiders are gonna need that
three,
game
4,
right now.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Yeah,
Damn.
8 or 9, right in there. But I think it's going to be 8. But and their total's what? 7.5?
8.5.
8.5. Yeah, it's gonna be right there. That's one of those. Like for me, I'd stay away from that because I feel like it's right there. I thought 8. The line's 8.5. I would stay away from that one, but I think it's gonna be 8.
Did the Chargers? Did they draft a running back in their draft?
No, but they signed like 7 of them
Yeah,
off
they
of fucking.
signed.
They have like
Gus
7.
Edwards.
And
Yeah.
J.K.
And
Dobbins.
they
And
signed
J.K.
both of
and
the.
Dobbins,
Dude, they
yes.
signed like 4 Ravens.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. So, but they
Big
got
brother
like
giving it to
another
his little
7.
brother.
You look at their running back depth chart. It's like 7 dudes, all restricted free agents. Like unrestricted free agents they signed, and then Dobbins and.
Where did
and-
Corum end up getting?
Rams.
I thought he went in the second
Rams.
round, right?
Yeah.
I didn't get that. That was kind of weird.
Well, their guy's out.
Oh, okay, that
So-
makes sense.
He gonna shine.
Yeah, I think he's gonna shine. I think you're right.
So we're going Broncos.
Let's do Broncos. I'm gonna give the Broncos 3 wins.
Damn.
I think 2 wins and Sean Payton's fired before the end of the season.
I'm gonna say 3 wins
Yeah.
for Denver, maybe 4. Their win total can't be more than 4.5. Like, there's just no way. Can you got it?
It has to be 4.5. Yeah.
I can't wait to see Michael Brown spin this.
Oh no,
He knows.
Yeah, Michael Brown is.
He's well aware.
5.5.
Oh, way under. Way under.
Yeah.
What-
Over is minus 135.
Oh my God, are you
Yeah.
kidding? This is free money. This is free money. Under on the Denver Broncos. Let's go through it. Week 1. Where we at?
Week 1 at Seattle.
Loss.
Week 2 home against Pittsburgh.
Loss. Easy work.
Week 3 at Tampa.
Loss.
Week 4 at New York. Jets.
Doesn't matter. Either one. Loss.
Wow, either one. That's dirty.
Yeah, either one.
Week 5 home against the Raiders.
Loss.
Week 6 home against the Chargers.
Loss.
Week 7 at New Orleans Saints.
Loss.
Week 18 home against Carolina.
Win.
Win. They can win that.
Week
And
9
he might be fired if they go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. If they go 0 and 7,
0-7,
it's
for sure
total
fired.
pandemonium in Colorado. And yeah,
They hired Dion.
Week 9 at Baltimore.
Loss. This is fucking
Week 10 at Kansas City.
loss.
loss.
Week 11 home against the Falcons.
A loss.
Week 12 at Vegas.
Loss. They're getting scooped.
Week 13 home against the Browns.
Loss. Big loss.
Week 14 bye. Then they play the Colts at home.
I think they win that game.
Week 16 at the Chargers.
Loss.
Week 17 at Cincinnati.
Loss.
Ending at week 18 home against the Chiefs.
Loss as well, unless the Chiefs aren't playing anybody. 2-3 wins.
That
That's
might
it.
be a
3
win
wins.
for them.
That might be
That might be a win for them because
Yeah.
the Chiefs are not
Let's
playing
give 'em a
anybody.
win. I mean, that's
Let's give them a win. 3 wins
3
for the
wins.
Broncos. I'll tell you what, the biggest line this year is probably going to be the Ravens Broncos game. If it's at Baltimore, that line might be like Baltimore minus 16.5
No, well,
That's gonna be a
San
monster.
Francisco's playing the Patriots, I think.
at home.
It doesn't matter. That might be 21.
Yeah, that line though, that Ravens Broncos line, is going to be monstrous.
Yeah.
Broncos 3 wins. They're going to be the laughing stock. You gave up a bunch of shit to fucking get a coach. You're ridiculous. You're a joke.
Bo Nix
At
is
this
going to be
point- at
running
this
for his
point,
life.
You're an absolute. The Broncos are the joke of the NFL.
They're crumb bums.
Woo!
crumb bums. They're an absolute joke this year. They will be worse than Carolina.
I think Carolina's going to, they're going to have a lot of close games this year. I'm not saying wins, but they're going to have a lot of closer games.
That
this
sounds
year.
wild.
I agree. I feel like you guys give Bryce Young enough weapons.
They
He's gonna
rebuilt the O-line. They got him
exactly.
weapons.
They have one of the most
Yeah.
expensive
What am I
O-line
hearing?
rooms in
What's
the
going on here?
NFL.
You guys hired by the Panthers?
No, I'm
What's
just
going on?
Might be
game
the-
recognizes
They
game.
lost
you
their
know?
best defensive player.
Might be the worst
Okay,
owner
and?
in the NFL.
Might be.
Facts.
Not might be.
Maybe
he
And they
is.
didn't
Sports.
lose their best
Yeah.
defensive player. Okay, they still have Derek Brown, who set the
No,
record.
no, no,
had
They
o-
lost their best defensive
He had
player.
over 100 tackles as a D tackle. You know how insane that is?
And I'm telling you, they still lost their best
Yeah,
player.
Okay.
Burns is in
That's
New
because
York.
they were always down 24-0. So the other team just ran the ball into the defensive tackle. Like, dude, we just want to punt.
I'm not
Who
saying
wants to
it's-
tackle?
I'm not saying it's
That's what it was.
Close game.
Yeah, bro,
Close
the
game.
game 24-0 at
Close
the
game.
end of the halfway through the second quarter. We're running the rest of the way, just run into the defensive tackle. Let them accumulate 100 fucking tackles.
Okay, before we go on to this next one, and I know I'm a official Kansas City Chief hater.
Big time. Official. You are the fucking hater.
Yes, I am the president. I'm not only a client, I am the president of that hater club. That offense struggled big time last year.
Oh, Ed.
They
Oh,
did.
Ed.
Eddie,
Oh,
won
Ed.
the fucking Super Bowl.
They were bored, Ed.
That defense was top 2.
Ed.
They still won the
They
Super
still
Bowl.
won the Super Bowl.
Okay, let me say this. Kelsey, did he not decline last year?
He did, but he showed up in the playoffs
He showed up
every
in
single game.
He showed up in the second half of the Super Bowl.
Whoa.
He had
What about the game
What about
against Mike?
Buffalo? What about the Dolphins? He was there the whole
Oh,
He had
playoffs.
a
playoffs.
good Dolphins.
He was there the whole
Ravens game.
playoffs.
He had 3 phenomenal games leading up to the Super
Exactly.
Bowl.
Okay, so you had a good playoff.
Travis Kelsey doesn't sit out
So
that
he had
last
the
game. He
best
has over
end.
100 receptions and over
1,000
1,000
yards.
receiving
The
Yeah.
Chiefs
yards.
ran through a gauntlet of an AFC playoff bracket.
They beat they
And he
beat 3
was the
teams.
top performer.
You got-
How can you possibly look at the Kansas City Chiefs and say they are going to be better than they were last year?
No, that's not what we're saying.
What evidence
Nobody's
is
saying
there?
that. And nobody's saying that.
So
We're-
there's going to be a decline then.
We're not
No,
saying
no,
we haven't
no.
even got to that point yet. What you're talking about is how bad they were last year.
No,
Dude,
I didn't say how
David-
bad. I
You
said
said
how
their
bad
offense-
their struggled.
offense was.
I said
Dude,
their offense
Eddie.
struggled last year, which is a fact. Their
Ed,
offense struggled last year.
Dude, listen.
I'm not talking shit. I'm just speaking
The
facts.
offense needed to score. They scored when they needed to. It's like they were going through the motions. You don't want to call it bored. They went through the motions. When the fucking shit counted, the 3 teams that they beat in the playoffs were number 1 seeds at one point in the year last year. Ravens, Bills, Dolphins. The 3 best teams in the AFC, they fucking beat them all. They dominated them all.
What?
Yeah, that happened. That happened. By the way, I'm going to give the Chiefs 12-13 wins as well.
So really quick, according to Adam Schefter, as of earlier this week, expect Rashee Rice not to be there for the start of the season.
Duh.
That was a
I
shocker.
mean, we expected that one.
I mean, he has
Thanks,
more
Adam,
cases than
fucking jerk
freaking-
off.
Yeah, come
But
on.
he's fucking Adam Schefter, prick.
My
Little
other-
prick.
It's not
little-
his fault that Rashid Rice.
I don't care. We don't need to
After-
report it. That shit is obvious as shit.
You guys
Yeah,
want
It's
to know
like,
a little?
oh, hello.
You want a little nerd nugget here?
Oh, here we
Oh,
go.
here we go.
This is what happens when you let white dudes up in the mix.
What week? What week do the Chiefs play the Bills? It's in
I think
Buffalo
it's
this
early.
year.
It's early.
I think it's like week 9, right?
What about it?
it's-
What do you got? Give me the nerd nugget.
Guess who's in
It's-
Canada?
At Buffalo?
Oh,
Yeah.
is that Taylor Swift?
It's
in
Taylor
Canada?
Swift's in Canada.
Of course, you would know that.
Yeah, he would know that.
Yeah.
How the fuck does that?
Yeah,
Like,
but
what-
Correlate, 'cause she's in Toronto,
She's
she'll
in
just hop over
Toronto,
to
she'll just
Buffalo.
hop over to Buffalo, get all the fans.
we
back
just
on
gained
TV.
like 600 13-year-old white girl followers.
We
right now.
actually just lost all of our accounts.
So anyway, I think the Chiefs win 12-13. I think they will be.
Who's he throwing the ball to?
Are you kidding?
Marlon Cortez.
Xavier Worthy.
Xavier
you got
Worthy.
Rasheed Rice.
Xavier
No,
Later
no,
in the
was-
season,
You
you
don't
got,
have Rasheed Rice.
And later in the
Rasheed
season, you
Rice
got
is
Irv
getting suspended
Smith.
either 2 to 4 games. There's not going to be any more than that.
Dude.
He's at OTAs right now. They're working. They're working. That kid will come back.
You know
He
he
will
kinda
have
They
made
eight
do
or
have
nine-
Hollywood too.
Yeah,
They got
Marquise
Hollywood Brown, which you don't like,
I hate.
Sky
I stuck up
Moore.
for that signing. I will say.
dude. Hollywood Brown.
You didn't like that. I stuck up for that,
That was a
signing.
I don't like
great
Hollywood
signing.
Brown, but
Yeah.
he's on the Chiefs. I mean, anybody can fit in there. You
Oh.
saw with
except
what's his name?
Kadarius Toney.
Juju Smith.
he had it, dude. Kadarius Toney the year before wasn't bad when he got
Dude,
there.
they should go after Juju Smith. They should go get his ass.
I want
They
him to,
don't
I
need
want
him.
him
They
to come
have-
back.
Relax.
Marlon Cortez.
He was a solid number one.
What's he
He
saying?
said they got Forrest Gump as their number 1 receiver. And they're winning the division.
Easy work. Easy. I think the Chiefs win 12-13 games.
Wow.
Wow. Let's get into it.
Marlon Cortez says Chiefs got Worthy in Hollywood. Casey going 15-2.
Wow, that's wild.
I could run that offense. All streaks, fucking.
Oh,
stop
who's,
it.
stop
who's
it.
running a fucking route?
Eddie, you can't
Stop
see over the
it.
line.
Oh God.
You lost your
God.
left tackle. You lost your best
Well,
linebacker.
We got a left tackle. We got a left
Lost your
tackle.
best
BYU
corner.
left tackle. We drafted him in the first
Yeah,
round.
he's a project. He's bigger than
He's
my
gonna
house.
start. He's gonna start. And he's
I
gonna
I
know.
like
play.
this. I like when we got fans of the teams here.
Boom,
Boom. Yeah, listen. This
That-
motherfucker's like, they got it. Da, 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 da. I
He-
like it a lot.
If he starts at left tackle, there's trouble.
Trouble for what? He was
Kingston is
he was first team all
all BYU.
I'll be like,
That's
whatever
Big 10,
conference
that's
they're in.
Big
Whatever
12, man.
conference they're in, okay, I don't know like college football like that, but whatever conference he was in, he was first team. So like that got to count for some. We picked him for a reason. The Chiefs don't pick bad.
Yeah.
We have a history of picking really good picks. I think our
You guys picked
Rings speak for
freaking
itself.
All right,
Sky Moore.
let's get into it before we get into some more
Right.
Sky Moore insults.
Sky Moore was a bust.
Jumping into this, Ryan Holmes says he thinks Rasheed Rice gets 6 games.
At
All right,
least
6.
because
I
there
don't
was
think
an
he gets 6.
incident after his freaking.
Oh, you're right. You're right. He was
freaking
wilding
fought-
out.
Yeah, he fought.
These dudes from
No, the
Dallas, they
photography thing
wild.
was a lie. That the reporter rescinded it. He took
Oh, all
away.
right.
They came
4
out.
games.
It was false.
I'm going to say 4 games, but let's just say 6. Whatever.
Their over-under is 11.5.
Over. I
Both-
take Chiefs over.
The under and over are both minus 110.
I like the over on the Chiefs. I think they win 12-13. Let's get into it. Look at Luka, by the way. Dallas within 6.
Week
let's-
1, home against Baltimore. Banger of start the season.
Loss. I think the Ravens win that game.
Week 2, home against Cincinnati.
I think they win that.
Week 3, at Atlanta.
Win.
Week 4, at the Chargers.
Win.
Week 5, home against the Saints.
Week 5? Yeah, win.
Yeah.
Early week 6 bye.
That's terrible.
Terrible for this team.
Big time. That's
Then-
a fuckery.
Then they go to San Francisco. They play the Niners.
I think they win that game.
In San Francisco.
It's after their bye.
Andy Reid off a bye. Pretty nice.
And I gave the win to the Chiefs on the Niners schedule.
Okay.
I think they win that game.
Week 8, in Vegas against the Raiders.
I think they scooped the Raiders. Honest opinion. I think they scooped them. I think you guys were dumbfounded. You guys were lucky and on Christmas Eve, like I told you. When they lost the game to the Bills, that was the game they knew they needed to win. They didn't win it. And after that, it was like, all right, we know what we got to do. I think they scoop the Raiders.
Lucky is an insane description. Of,
Okay. You saw the quarterback. I don't need to tell you. Go ahead.
We won without one.
Yeah, that's the
Yeah.
crazy ass
Exactly.
part.
They will not beat them this year.
Week 9, home against Tampa. Monday Night Football.
Win.
Week 10, home against Denver.
Tapping. Absolute.
Week 11, at the Bills.
I think the Bills win that game.
Yes.
Week 12, at Carolina.
Tap.
Week 13, Friday game, home against the Raiders.
Yeah, tap. Absolute tap. Get the fuck out of here. Get out of here.
Fucking kicked their ass last year, Rafa.
That's
21-3, man.
boredom.
With a freaking 4-string Big
Boredom.
10 freaking.
Boredom.
Keep
Tapping them.
Week 14, home against the Chargers.
They win.
Week 15, good game, I think, at Cleveland.
I think they lose that game.
See that?
Same here. Week 16, home against the Texans.
Scooping.
That'll,
Tapping.
that'll be a good game. It'll be.
It will be a
late
good game
playoffs.
because Texans are going to need to win because they're going to be struggling like little fucking turds.
Week 17 on Christmas, at Pittsburgh.
On Christmas Day,
Mhm.
Loss.
25th.
I think
By
they
the way,
lose.
on Netflix. By the way,
I think they lose that game.
Dude, your confidence in those two quarterbacks is nuts.
Week 18 at Denver.
Scoop.
What you said?
We're going to give them a
Wait,
loss.
you have Pittsburgh winning?
Yes.
Okay, so
Yes, I do.
and then the last one.
The last one,
at
Denver's probably
win.
going to win that game because the Chiefs probably aren't going to play anybody.
So is that it?
Oh, Ryan Holmes.
13
after-
wins.
13
wins.
So then we would go over. Ryan Holmes says about the reporter. They paid that reporter, and you know it. Rice was a dumpster fire this offseason. and that was the
100%.
easiest thing.
Ryan
to get
Holmes, are
brushed
you
under the
bringing up
rug.
conspiracy Chiefs
Dude.
hate?
Oh, listen, that is a thing. That is a freaking thing, okay?
Oh my goodness.
They've swept more freaking scandals under the rug in freaking Kansas City than my freaking housekeeper with my toenail clippings.
Oh. Wow. I cannot believe it.
They kept Tyreek Hill under the rug for how many years?
He didn't do anything wrong but fuck a bunch of women.
It was Kareem Hunt.
He beat some bitches too.
We had that Kareem Hunt issue where he
Yeah, Kareem
kicked
Hunt
that one
beat a
lady.
couple women.
How about Andy Reid's
She
son?
deserved it though. She
How
deserved
about-
No,
it.
that wasn't swept under the rug. Ed. That was the thing. That's when they lost the Super Bowl. They lost that Super Bowl to the Tampas,
Yeah, Brady.
to the Brady's,
Tampa Brady.
The Tampa.
to the Tampa Brady's. Yeah, they lost that shit to the
Did
Brady's.
you guys see the picture of freaking Mahomes?
That was also the same year that Mahomes' dad was arrested for DUI and Andy Reid's son. That was the whole same. That was all within a month. That's why they lost that Super Bowl.
Did you see yesterday Mahomes' picture?
A little fat, little dad bod.
Yes.
Who cares? He
Hey,
looks
he'll
the
still
same.
throw for
dude.
4,000
No,
yards.
No, this one you can like.
Yeah. It
He
looks
James
like,
Harden. He James Harden.
it looks like he's been
Yeah,
hanging
dude.
out with
It just
Andy
takes one
at Tommy
person to be
Burger.
like, he
Dude,
doesn't
he's
like
been
this.
at all the Mavs Holmes games courtside. He's been there. He was actually the game. Who were they playing? They were playing somebody on. They were playing the Thunder.
Get in there, Hawkins.
And remember, it was that conversation of the guys who can play in the NFL, who can play in the NBA, blah blah. And Mahomes went over to Hubie Brown, who was calling the game. He was shouting at him during the game, and he's like, "Oh, Mahomes just shouted he could be a middle linebacker in the NFL." And it was the dude from the Dort from the
Luke
Thunder.
Dort.
Yeah.
ASU, baby.
Yeah, Mahomes has been courtside everywhere, and that's probably why he's getting big.
eating them nachos at courtside,
it's
man.
been getting
Ryan
big.
Holmes said Rasheed Rice just got pardoned and released from jail.
Yeah. We'll see you in
Hell yeah.
we'll see you in week 6. Hell yeah.
Jacob,
Look at
what
this
about
guy.
Don't let
here.
behind the car.
I don't think those things bother the Chiefs. Like it doesn't. Those things can't bother. Don't phase them. Like I don't think those things bother them.
You guys think that Xavier Worthy is going to fit? He's MVS.
Eddie,
He's MVS.
No,
he's gonna get open.
he's not NBA. He's
Eddie,
so much
this,
more.
this is the thing that you can keep saying whatever you want. This team has won 3 Super Bowls.
And the fall of the kingdom.
That's what you said last year. You sat up here and said the kingdom is falling because they can barely win any games. They can barely score any points. And what happened? The playoffs rolled around and it was yeah. Good
No.
night.
What was
Good
it?
night.
What was it?
Yeah. That's what it was right there. You stepped on the field. Yeah. And then all of a sudden it was good night. Game over, Red Rover. Send the next motherfucking loser right over.
I'm telling you.
Chiefs, AFC title game against the Bills, baby. Let's go,
You're gonna get
Bills.
smoked. The time to honor yourself will soon be over, Patrick Mahomes.
That's never happening. Anyway, so let's get to the Raiders. The team here of Eddie
gosh.
Money, Eduardo, the host.
0-18.
18.
Stop.
Let's get
0-18.
I think they split the Chargers. I think they scoop Denver. I think they get scooped by the Chiefs. I'm going to give the Raiders, I'm going to say 9. I'm going to say 9. I'm going to say 9.
That's a win for me.
I'm going to say 9. That's what I'm going to say with the Raiders. I'm going to say 9, possibly 10 to maybe squeeze into a playoff spot.
You can't get into playoffs with 10 wins anymore.
We will see.
They can.
We will see.
Well, I guess if you're in the NFC freaking South,
You got to
can.
see, Ed. You have to remember, you have three big teams in the AFC West. The AFC North is going to kill each other. The AFC South is going to have one team probably. So, but let's get
Can I start another rumor?
what is it?
Can we get Hendon Hooker over to Las Vegas? That dude, they just re-signed Goff. That you draft that dude in the 3rd round. It was a ridiculous draft pick. Hendon Hooker.
It wasn't a ridiculous draft pick.
I
It
didn't
was
like
a great draft pick.
It was
It was a
sensible.
protection. The guy, if he would have been healthy and finished healthy, he might have won the Heisman.
100%. He was the favorite.
So he might have won the Heisman if he would have been healthy. You drafted him. You drafted him as a protection for Jared Goff. Jared Goff went out. Now
He
you'll see him.
balled his ass up.
You'll see him now in preseason. If he has a nice preseason, maybe he'll get interest from teams. Hey, we'll give you a 3rd for him. We'll maybe give you a 4th, maybe a 2nd, whatever it is. Let's see what he does in the preseason.
Yeah, I just, it's no secret that AP wants a mobile QB. He wants a mobile QB, and he has Groot from the Avengers, a tall tree in the freaking, and I'm tired of the Raider fans making up a freaking, some fairy tale that if Aiden O'Connell was in this year's draft, he'd be in the 1st round. Are you serious? I can't unsee that man not complete a pass for 3 downs in Kansas City. For 3 quarters, I mean, not 3 downs. I can't unsee it. He's not a very good.
I think Gardner Minshew will be the starter.
Really?
With the Raiders, I think Gardner Minshew will be the starter. If Gardner Minshew starts, put it this way. If AOC wins the job, let's say, and he's the starter, and they start off 1-2, because looking at their schedule, I think when I first saw it, I thought 1-2. I don't remember who the second or third game is, but when I initially saw it, when I first saw it, I said 1-2. But let's see what it is. I think the Raiders win 9-10, and I think Minshew will be the starter.
Ryan Holmes says, what is in Rafa's cigar? 9 wins for the Raiders. What the?
I'm just telling you, man. I like the defense, and I don't think I like the coach. I don't dislike him the way that CJ or that Luke doesn't like him.
Here's the thing. This is the best roster they've had in probably 12 years with the most depth. I love the roster. I like the coach. I like the defensive coordinator. But this is an NFL league where you need a quarterback to win. This is not the Trent Dilfer years.
Let me cut you off real quick. By the way, if you guys can, Kyrie's starting to cook, just so you know. Anyways, go ahead.
No, that's my feelings. I hope you're right about Minshew. Every Raider fan, no matter who they put at quarterback at the beginning of the season, they're like, this guy's going to be incredible. He's going to have a huge leap this year. Like, what gives you – because he threw in OTAs, they showed a highlight where, you know, they drop back and throw it into net with the squares. He got 2 in a row, and Raider fans are losing their mind like he's going to be amazing this year.
Nah, it's going to be Minshew.
I hope so.
It's going to be Minshew. What do we got?
Before we start to the schedule, Will Hanley says, love the show, guys. Keep up the great work.
Thank you, buddy.
Thank you,
Appreciate
man.
it.
Shout out, Will. All right, week 1 for the Raiders at the Chargers.
I think they lose that.
Didn't you?
I
No,
gave them a
he
loss.
said- yeah,
Oh,
I
yeah,
think
yeah.
they split.
Week 2 at Baltimore.
Yeah, that's a loss. That's 1,000%.
Week 3, first home game, they play the Panthers.
Oh, that's a win. Yeah, 1-2.
Better be.
Oh, by the way, I don't think I said it, but their over-under is 6.5.
The Raiders?
And the over is
Disrespect.
juiced.
Are you kidding? Oh my
They
God!
hate the quarterback.
This might be this is also free money here.
That's what I'm saying.
I like the Raiders 6.5. You don't like the Raiders 6.5?
I said that's what
Are
I'm saying.
you
It's free money.
kidding? I like the Raiders at least 9 wins. Let's do it.
If you want to up
Let's
your
go.
credit score, take out a loan, place it on the over 6.5, and boom, up 55.
Rocket Mortgage, new sponsor.
All right, so Raiders start at 1-2. What do we got week 4?
Week 4, home against the Browns.
I think they're gonna win that game.
Week 5 at Denver.
Win.
Dub.
Week 6, by the way, this is the highest average price ticketed game. Week 6, home against the Steelers.
Oh, that
Man,
it's
dude.
in Vegas.
It's
Yes.
in
Dude,
Vegas.
it's gonna look like Pittsburgh. Guys are gonna be eating hoagies and burning steel in Vegas.
I'm gonna give that game to the Raiders. Dude, and I'm gonna give that game to the Raiders. And that's gonna be an ugly game.
Look, what do you think about that?
We all remember last year, right? Oh, the Raiders are gonna beat the Steelers. Raiders are gonna beat the Steelers.
Well, they've been
Wasn't
very
that Christmas?
it's
No,
2
we
years
played.
ago.
No, we played you guys last year where he had to wear the helmet after.
good.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give this one to the Raiders, but let's go on. That's a 50-50 for me
I would just like to point out this is the first game Rafa's given to a team
against the Steelers. Yeah.
Week 7 at the Rams.
I think they lose that game.
Week 8 home against the Chiefs.
Loss.
Week 10 at Cincinnati.
Loss.
Week 10 they got a bye. Then they go to Miami.
They never play well
What week is that?
in
Week 11.
the East.
After their bye?
Yeah.
I think they can win that game.
Okay.
Week 12 home against Denver.
Win.
Week 13 at Kansas City.
Loss.
Week 14 at Tampa.
Man, I think they can win that game, man.
Week 15 home against Atlanta.
I think they win that.
Week
Ooh.
16 home against Jacksonville.
Oh man. Damn, I'm gonna give them a loss. I really am. I think the Jacks are gonna be better than what we think.
Week 17 greatly timed game at New Orleans against Derek Carr.
I think they win that game.
Carl won't even be in the freaking league in 7.
I think they win that game.
That's just hype, man. He's still gonna be starting.
Yeah, he is. A lot of money.
Week 18 home against the Chargers.
We split, so home.
Yeah, I think they win
that's a
that.
win.
So what do you got?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
So
Bam!
9. So 9 or 10. That's what I thought. I'm sticking with my guns. 9 or 10 for the Raiders. Everybody knows I'm not a Raider fan. at all. I just think the coach, their defense, they're going to be able. And if Gardner Minshew, I think he's going to start. I think by week 2 or week 3, I think he's starting. What a shot by Nas Reed. I think he's starting by week 3. I think if they start 0-2, I know it's the Ravens and at the Chargers, and it's at the Chargers and at the Ravens. I think he's going to look so bad in that Ravens game that it's, if AOC gets the job, I think that's going to be it. Like, dude, let's just try the other guy, which is kind of unfair because then you're going home
against the Panthers.
Then you're going home against the Panthers. But I think Gardner Minshew has to be your guy. Like, there's no way that he's not your guy. He's a better thrower. He's better with his feet.
Yeah.
He's more experienced.
Little ass boy.
Yeah. I told you I saw AOC the other day at the Win. What?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was in a full-blown tuxedo with his girlfriend or his wife.
He was in a cop uniform.
No,
you saw a cop. That's what he looks like with his buzz cut and his mustache.
He walked.
Does he not look like a state trooper?
He does look. He actually looks like a Mexican dude who can't grow any facial hair. There's a lot of them out there. A lot of them out there. No offense to anyone, but I've seen it. My wife's family. There's a lot of Mexican dudes that can't grow facial hair. But he walked by us, and I turned around and go, "Hey, that's AOC." I was with my wife, and he turns around. He goes, "Hey," like, yeah.
Did he do everything in slow motion?
Well, I'm not quick, so by the time I turn around is when we probably move at the same speed.
So, did you guys see this yesterday? What the Raiders did? It wasn't a restructure. The Raiders went out, and I don't know if I've said this on the show, but I believe this with all my heart. The Raiders went out and gave a dude a raise. They gave him $6 million extra, and it's not a restructure. They added money to his contract.
It's a reward.
It's a reward. Now, my hot take is this, and I've said this. I'm not sure if I've said it on the show, that Max Crosby is and will be the best Raider of all time. I've never seen another dude that's not a quarterback, by the way, that is not a quarterback, change the whole identity and the whole vibe of a team. Max Crosby has done that for the Raiders.
I wish CJ had a mic.
Well, give him a mic.
You want to say something?
No.
All right.
Talk
He
to
doesn't want
everyone.
to say anything. He doesn't want to say anything.
He has
You don't care
whole,
about the
he's changed the whole identity of the team.
Can I say the team was really, really bad, so there wasn't an identity, and this is the best player that you've had in 15 years? That's why. I say that?
Okay,
Does that not count?
No. Devontae Adams, very good player. Devontae,
He's not a Raider.
No. Well, he is now.
He's not a Raider. Like, the shit is over, and he hangs it up. His helmet is a Green Bay Packer helmet. He'll never be a Raider.
No.
Max Crosby is a Raider. The 15 years or 20 years prior to this, you've had no one who's been relevant in the league.
Khalil Mack.
What?
They've had
Khalil
players. They've had
Khalil
players.
Mack what? And when you had to
said
pay
we
him, what
didn't
happened? And when you had to pay him, what happened?
No,
that
but
man
you
was in the
said-
league for 4 years.
You said that we had no
On your team for
relevant
4
players.
years. Yeah, and he
Yeah,
was
he was
gone.
hurt.
So it's you can't even consider him a Raider.
My
Many-
point.
I see Khalil Mack. I see Chicago Bears.
My point is this:
I'm just telling you.
he
No.
Got paid.
for being a non-quarterback, Max Crosby has just really changed everything in that freaking locker room, in that organization.
The people love him. The team loves him. That's what you're
and
saying.
and he will be, when it's all said and done. I do believe he has to win, and it's very hard to do not being the quarterback. But I don't
think so.
When it's all said and done, Max Crosby will be the best Raider of all time. That's it. Case closed. Show's over. Everyone go home.
I don't believe that.
Really?
I think he's going to be the best Raider. I think he's going to be the best player to wear a Raider uniform. I don't think he will be the best Raider. Like, when you go down the list of players who
Can you
wore a Raider
explain-
uniform.
Can you explain the difference?
Charles
All right,
Woodson.
let's say I know all you Laker fans are going to hate this, but the best player to ever wear a Laker uniform is LeBron James. But he's not the best
here
Laker
we go.
ever. I'm sorry to tell you.
Oh, I get what
Kobe,
you're
you
trying
see
to
what I'm
say.
saying?
Okay.
So Kobe Bryant is a phenomenal Laker, but he's not the best Laker ever. Magic is the best Laker ever. That's what I'm saying. Like, the best Dodger ever is Tommy Lasorda, and he was a fucking manager.
So then, right now, who would you say is the best Raider to put on a Raider uniform?
Probably recognizable and whatever.
Oh,
It's probably,
Jerry Rice. Never mind.
It's not Jerry Rice. Oh, to wear the uniform? Yes.
Oh,
To wear the uniform. But as
Yeah.
an actual Raider, you'd probably have to look at Howie Long.
Charles
Right.
Woodson,
Right.
Kenny Stabler, those legends guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, legendary players that played on your team and are famous for being on your team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jerry Rice is a Niner. Devontae Adams is So that's what it is. I just don't think if Max Crosby doesn't win anything, well, he's on the team, and like you said, it's hard. But Howie Long is a better Raider overall all time, I think. But Raider. I'm not talking about player. Max Crosby can have a phenomenal fucking 3-4 years coming up. He'll be probably the best player to wear the uniform.
Howie Long was great, but Howie Long was great on very good Raider teams. Max Crosby, he changes the whole vibe. Like, he's going to get after you if you're not freaking working hard. Everyone's afraid of that.
Yeah, no. I see it.
Yeah,
I see it.
yeah.
His face is all over the place in Vegas.